Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers.
Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Tuesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we do know that LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers were back in action on yesterday, finishing up, I think, their 4 or 5 game East Coast road trip with a victory against none other than the Charlotte Hornets. And I had said on the previous show, I think on yesterday's show, that the Lakers would go out and get a vengeance for the loss that they had suffered to the Charlotte Hornets right before Christmas break. I don't know why the Lakers just didn't seem to have it that night and pretty much gave away a game to the Hornets. But we can see that the Lakers have started to right the ship without the presence of Anthony Davis. And we knew that it would be rough going for the Lakers without Anthony Davis just because of the way the lineup is construed and, constructed. Now, we do see that Lonnie Walker has been out of the lineup the past 2 games. And the past 2 games, it has resulted in a victory. So I don't know if there's any correlation there, but I'm telling you, Lonnie Walker has been in a slump. And, I don't know, his 3-point shooting has not been where it needed to be. Maybe it has been because of the injury that he was playing through. Who knows? That has a lot to do with it. And you could tell when LeBron James was favoring his foot that he was also having some of those shooting issues as well early on in the season. Now, speaking of foot injuries, y'all like this segue, didn't you? Speaking of foot injuries, Russell Westbrook had been dealing with left foot soreness as well. He, at some point, could not make it back through the game. I don't know if it was in the latter parts of the second quarter to where he, I won't say re-injured, but re-aggravated that foot to where it was just in too much pain for him to come back in. And he was having an unproductive night early on, and it could have been due to the injury as well. So, hopefully Russell Westbrook can get back healthy because he has been the shot in the arm that the Lakers need off of the bench. He has been playing pretty good off of the bench, maybe not with just his scoring prowess, but, his just ability to get others involved because the past few games he's been getting 11 and 12 assists a game. So I don't give a what you think. If you're getting those assists, then that's leading to points, and that's something that the Lakers need. I think the Lakers right now are currently like 7th in the league in scoring. Unfortunately, their defense points per game has fallen off tremendously. I think they're like 27th, so they actually give up 1 point a game more than what they average. And I can't remember exactly what that was. It was just something I was reading, I think maybe yesterday or today. But anyway, I thought I would share that with you. But let's go back to the performances of a LeBron James. Man, I'm telling you what, LeBron James is still out of that fountain of youth, is still looking good. The play when Schroeder threw up the worst oop you could ever throw. I won't say the worst oop because Pat Bev kind of threw up the worst oop you could ever throw earlier in that game. And LeBron really should have had more points than he did because that was a great fast break. And I don't know what Pat Bev was doing, but his timing was completely off. But you know who timing is not off when they go on that fast break is Austin Reeves, because he can find LeBron James, whether it's in traffic or whether it's with a oop or bounce pass or whatever he needs to do. But, man, back to the performance of LeBron James. Man, one play when he was going down against the defense, when he gets going, there's no stopping him. And, he even dribbled behind the back, went around, forced his way to the basket at will. And it's like he's muscling up these boys because LeBron James is built for the early 2000s still, as far as his physique-wise. And these guys, it's just not stopping them. Even at age 38, I still don't think you can find a better finisher at the rim than a LeBron James, and who shot yesterday 43 points, coming off a 47-point game on his birthday. So he averaging 40-some points a game as a 38-year-old. So just let that sink in for a minute. No, it's just 2 games, but hey, it sounded good. So anyway, LeBron James, 43 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Probably could have had a triple-dub again, but as I continue to say, the teammates are letting him down on some of the great looks that he's giving them, and they just can't finish the open shots. But, LeBron James was 16 out of 26 by my math. That's 62% from the field, even though he started off slow again, still finished at 62%. Now, he was 0 from 5 from 3 again. That 3, I'm telling you, when it's not falling for him, it's not falling. But the games, like the previous game, when it was falling, then it's falling. But 0 for 5, if you take away those 5 3-point shot attempts, then he would have been 16 out of 21. It would have been like 80-some%, which is crazy. He was 11 for 15 from free throws and a +9 on the floor last night, which was miraculous. And I know it's just the Charlotte Hornets, but at the end of the day, you have to beat those type teams. And they had already gave up a game to them previously. So, they would have won that game. They'll be one step closer to being 500. And they're battling right there with Golden State and, of course, Minnesota. And if the Lakers are just like 1 or 2 games behind Minnesota for that 10th spot, I believe it is. And of course, I think they're half a game for that 11th spot for OKC and the game behind Minnesota for that 10th spot. And Golden State is at the 9th spot. But Golden State won on yesterday in a triple overtime thriller against none other than, I think it was the Atlanta Hawks, the same team that LeBron handled with the Lakers just the other day in Atlanta. So they flew out there and they gave Golden State all they can handle going to triple overtime. But as we all know, if you saw that game, I think Looney put it in a tip back at the end in the third overtime to get Golden State that victory. So Clay had a hell of a performance. I heard he hit 10 threes, so that was good. And we're going to talk about Donovan Mitchell's performance in just a moment. We're going to touch on that too and how it compares with that of LeBron James and his all-time performances as a Cleveland Cavalier, because we know a lot of people have come out already with the hate talking about, oh, that's the best Cavs performance I've ever seen. We know how that is, but, at the end of the day, LeBron James continues to keep doing what he's doing at that age. And, with the rate that he's scoring now, it'll be about 15 more games until he passes Kareem. So if the Lakers can continue to hold on, then that's only going to bode well for when Anthony Davis comes back, because now there has been two instances in which LeBron James, which Lakers have played 10 games in a row, scoring over 34 points a game. We know AD did it earlier in the season, and now LeBron is doing it now. And if AD can get healthy, which he's saying that bone spurs a lot better in his foot, he's not in as much pain, he's going to start ramping it up soon. If AD can come back in the next couple weeks, then that would be exactly what the Lakers need to start to go on a run. And hopefully Westbrook can get healthy in the meantime. So another bright spot. We know Thomas Bryant has continued to be a bright spot. 18 points, 15 boards yesterday, 9 out of 17, 52%. He was a -7 on the floor yesterday. And that was, he played a lot of minutes too. I will say that, I can't remember. I didn't put down in my notes how many minutes he played, but at one point he played almost the whole first quarter. Would have liked for Gabriel to get in there a little bit quicker because that kind of affected that as well. But Gabriel himself, only had 5 points and 1 rebound, but Gabriel was a +15 on the floor. So, I like the Lakers front court right now, even though Gabriel, he can't size up with the larger centers of the league. So definitely need AD to come back. And Thomas Bryant, though, he has been, to be able to continue to get the boards that he's getting the past few games, double in every game. And right now, I think he's shooting 3rd highest percentage in the league as far as shooting wise. So, and that's because of the nice assists that he continues to get, the handoff pass and the nice, beautiful bounce pass from LeBron James on the pick and roll. And I do want to point out another bright spot in that of Pat Bev. Pat Bev only 6 points, but 7 assists last night, 2 for 4 from 3. Pat Bev has continued to improve on his 3-point shot the past 3 or 4 games, maybe 4 or 5 games, to be honest, because he's shooting right at 40% all these past few games. I'm going to have to look that up. If you know, put it in the comments below. Past 4 or 5 games, what's Pat Bev? Just those past 4 or 5 games, what's his 3-point percentage? I dare to say that it's at 40% or higher. The Lakers didn't do particularly well from 3-point land on yesterday, shooting only 10 out of 30 for 33%, but Charlotte was only 11 out of 32 for 34%, so that was like a wash. And of course, the Lakers are going to be back at home in the confines of LA at the Crypto.com Center tomorrow night, going against Miami, who beat the Clippers on yesterday and was looking real good. And, Miami squeaked one out against LA down in Miami not too long ago. And I think the Lakers was right there in that game. But I will say, if, Austin Reeves played terrible in that game, but if he can get in the confines of the Crypto.com arena and play well and the Lakers role players step up, then that's going to be a game that's going to be right there for the Lakers too, because they are competing right now, even without Anthony Davis. Just need the role players to continue to step up. I think Thomas Bryant is going to continue to do so. Austin Reeves needs to get a little more consistent. He's been in that starting lineup, which is a change for him. Not sure if Lonnie Walker will be coming back anytime soon, but the way, like I said previously, Lonnie Walker has not been playing all that well anyway. So, I like to see Troy Brown was in that starting lineup. That I like to see because Troy Brown has been pretty consistent. He's getting a lot better as far as consistent-wise from shooting from the outside. And, of course, he is a longer defender when you're talking about a three position, playing in that small forward position right now for the Los Angeles Lakers. So then the Lakers after that had the Hawks back at home. I think LeBron James is going to come out and do his thing again. That should be another victory that the Lakers can do. And then they'll have a back-to-back. So hopefully they can put the Hawks away early Friday night. And then because Saturday night, they will be hosting the Kings. And I think Sabonis, if I'm not mistaken, is still injured. So, the Lakers have been playing pretty well against the Kings. I think that they can come out and maybe get a victory again, Then I think they get 2 days off before they have to fly to Denver to take on the Nuggets. And we know the Lakers, that was the game in which AD got hurt just a couple weeks ago, how many weeks ago. And, of course, the Lakers finished the game without AD and won and had LeBron playing center at times. So I'm sure they'll look at that film and they'll be ready, and I'm sure Denver will be ready. But when you're playing at a high altitude in Denver, you have to come prepared to play just because, you get shortness of breath really quick when you're playing in that type altitude as they do in Denver. So, man, I'm just telling y'all the way LeBron James is playing, I'm so excited to continue to watch it night in and night out to witness greatness. Now, I want to go back to that topic that we were talking about earlier as far as Donovan Mitchell. Do you put down in the comments below, whether you're a LeBron James fan or not, do you think that is the all-time best performance of a Cleveland Cavalier? I have not seen the performance. I did see the highlights of it. I know 71 is a hell of a number, plus 10 assists. I don't think it's ever been done. It's right up there with Wilt as far as most points contributed in the game, because if you count the 10 assists, he accounted for like 99 of their points, which is right there with Wilt, who accounted for 106 points when he had the 100-point game plus the 4 or 5 assists. So, I mean, that game might be right up there. And, of course, he did keep it alive with the missed free throw at the end to push it to overtime. Now, 71, I think in overtime, I think Kobe got all of his in regulation, if I'm not mistaken. But at the end of the day, LeBron James has had some great performances. So I think what I'll do is I'll go back and look at some of the all-time great performances by LeBron James as a Cleveland Cavalier. But, hey, we know what LeBron and Kyrie are able to do in that finals when they did win that championship for Cleveland. And I don't think any regular season game against a Chicago Bulls team that has not been very good going to rank up there as one of the best performances ever, even though it was a phenomenal 71 points. I'm not taking anything away from that. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure LeBron James has had a better game. Now, Kevin Love said no. He said he played with Kyrie, he played with LeBron, and that was the most spectacular thing he's ever seen. So, 71 is good. I'm not mistaken. I think LeBron has scored 61 in a Cavs jersey. So, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The way y'all see it, especially haters, it's all about the jury. So let it be about that and not some early January game that I won't say is meaningless, because every game is, important right now in the NBA, especially with all these teams so close to each other in the conference, especially in the Western Conference, fighting and jockeying for a position. So we'll continue to watch that. Hit you with a preview tomorrow. Miami against LA. Right now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that LeBron James is going to show up and show out for tomorrow. He's going to be well rested, being back at home. And we'll see what the Lakers can do. But I think the Lakers can squeak out a victory, just depending. The Lakers did not have a answer for Bam Adebayo last game. Thomas Bryant just could not keep up with him as far as the quickness. And Gabriel is much too small. And if I'm not mistaken, Adebayo played 39 or 40 minutes in the last game. They may have to play Thomas Bryant just as long, or maybe see how LeBron can bowl at center at times during the game, because he was bodying him up at times and he would not be moved when Bam was challenging him in the post. So it'll be interesting to see nonetheless as we continue to this journey with the Los Angeles Lakers through the 2022-2023 campaign. But if you haven't done so already, you know what to do. Hit that bell, hit that like, hit that subscribe. And as always, this is your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters.